Greetings, dear respected audience. This is Estamala, your firstly and successful global educator, corporate trainer, SDG, ESG, and technology enthusiast from Malaysia, who not only focus on her life but also desire to see others excel in lives by offering quality education for all. Dear precious audience, esteemed academician, uh, our dedicated project team of Elegant Empire Education welcomes you to the Real Talk with Experts Sustainable Development Goals Forum. We are privileged to have Assistant Professor Dr. Anjum Qureshi here with us today. She is our host and the project leader for this forum, SDG Forum. In this forum, we will explore transformative strategies that empowers community through knowledge. Together, let us engage in this insightful discussion that inspires action and foster collaboration for a sustainable future with our honorable respected panelists. Let me introduce Mr. Pranav Pawar from India, Chandrapur, India. So he is a certified financial planner and founder of Finshare. We are definitely proud to host him today. Welcome, Mr. Pranav Pawar, to our forum.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for joining us in this vital conversation. Can you please give a short intro about yourself or anything else you want to say?
So basically, I'm a certified financial planner by profession, and we manage a financial product distribution firm here. Okay, so we have been in this business since last 37 years, but since few years, since like last 6, 7 years, we have been upgrading ourselves into complete financial solution business. Okay, so we provide financial solutions to individuals and businesses as well.
Okay. Financial assistance means what type of financial assistance? Like, are you an insurance broker or some financial
We we
company?
we we, we Yeah, so we are an insurance advisor as well as investment advisor. So we
Oh,
do complete financial planning of individuals, and for businesses, we provide them insurance services, maybe say fire insurance for factories or maybe for labor insurance, and then all kinds of. Also, we help them in earning a little on the idle money if they have any, while in the working capital thing. If any funds is lying idle in their accounts, we help them earn a little more on the idle amounts.
okay. Thank you. And what is the most, can say, popular insurance companies in India? Because I'm not aware.
So
In
well,
Malaysia, we
basically,
have few companies. We have few companies here, very famous. AIA, Great Eastern, Prudential.
we
There
do
are
we do
many.
have AIA here as well, but it's
Oh, okay.
collaborated
That's
with Tata in India. Yeah, so the
AIA
biggest life
is
insurance
American
company.
company, right? AIA is
Yeah,
American
AIA
company.
is an American company, but we had a few years back, we had a foreign investment. There was a regulation that if anyone wants to start insurance business in India, they had to have a foreign partner or a foreign investment of at least 49%. So to
Oh,
start
okay.
any
Nice.
kind of insurance business, we needed a foreign partner.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so
which
that's
one
why
is very
AIA
popular
in India
company?
is working with.
So, in
Sorry.
India, which one is like, can say, quite popular? Maybe you can name one or two.
So in India,
Like,
the very most popular thing is Life Insurance Corporation of India. And the second one, you can go with Bajaj Alliance. There's then Tata AIA,
Tata,
right?
yeah.
ICICI Lombard. As I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
you can see two names together, right? So one is an Indian partner and another is a foreign partner.
Are Reliance doing insurance also? Our big brother.
Reliance does insurance. Reliance do insurance, and now Geo, Reliance as Geo is getting into financial services with
Geo.
full fledged with every kind of products. And
Okay.
for investment purpose, Reliance is getting Geo with BlackRock, which is one of the not one of the it is the biggest asset management company in the world.
Yeah. So you know why I say our big brother? Because I'm also an Indian. Like, my my
Right,
grandfather is
right.
from Andhra Pradesh, so Indian British Army.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
an Indian. So that's why I
Okay.
always. Uh, Okay, I have taken much of Dr. Anjum's time. Okay, Dr. Anjum, thank you so much for your introduction, Mr. Pranav. I welcome Dr. Anjum to take over the floor. Dr. Anjum?
Thank you, Dr. Esther. And can we have the slides? I have uploaded the presentation. So, good evening, Pranav, and welcome to this SDG forum. And this is a forum, in fact, in which we say that we are on a journey of discussing the SDGs. And today we are here with one more very interesting SDGs, that is SDG number 08, which talks about economic growth and decent work. And today, in that, we'll be talking about financial management. And to discuss on this, let me introduce to you our panelist for today, Mr. Pranav Pawar from India. He's a certified financial planner and founder of Finshare. So, before going ahead with the conversation, I just want to speak in short. Yes, as I said, the SDG number 08, which talks about decent work and economic growth. We know that the sustained and inclusive economic growth, it can drive progress, it can create decent jobs for all, and improve living standards. It also, this goal aims to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth. But when we talk about economic growth, it is not enough that we get a job and we will get an economic growth. But if we want to have growth in this, we need many more things. And yes, to discuss about this, uh, today we'll be discussing about how your financial planning is going to help you. So to start with the conversation, yes, we are today we'll be discussing on sustainable financial management. But before that, let's start with a basic thing like financial planning, because even this is a term which very few people actually know. People think that, okay, I get some salary and I buy some shares, or I buy some insurance product and I have done my savings. So people are very confused about what are savings, what are financial plans. So let's start with the conversation. And Pranav, my first question for you is, what is meant by financial planning and when should we start it actually?
So, financial planning, it actually means gathering all your data together, setting up some goals, and working to get up to the goals and successfully get to your goals. Right? It can be any kind of goal, be it educational goal, or you want to make some money, or make a corpus, create a corpus for your retirement, or it can be if you want to get a car or any kind of thing. So the process of financial planning includes, the very first thing is we need to set our goals. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to get our current financial situation. We need to analyze, we need to collect all the finances at one place, analyze them, and then create a plan that will take us to the goal that we have decided to reach to. Right. And this all includes managing your income, your expenses, it includes your savings, investments, insurance, and it actually all kinds of details that you personally have, like maybe how long your family mortality has been. It depends on how long you will need the money for your retirement, right? How many dependents are there in your family? How long do you expect to work? Maybe you may want to retire soon, or maybe you want to start a startup. So we consider all these things while preparing a financial plan, and accordingly we provide solutions for all those things.
Yeah, that's really great to know because, as you said, we need to have goals. Now, this was something new which even I learned today, because what we do is we just we just need something and we just keep on doing that. Like you are a financial planner, so people like you when they approach us, we just follow what you say, but without actually knowing like where should I how I should plan for like goals. And it is something very really new for me, like having goals in financial planning. That's really very very important. Now coming back to because we know that we are discussing on sustainability again. So and SDG 8, which talks about economic growth. So now I would like to know from you, like how does financial planning it will help in achieving economic growth, or how financial planning will contribute to economic growth?
So what we do in financial planning is we help people in putting their money at a proper place, right? So when you put your money on proper place, it either goes to banks or it goes to mutual funds or it goes to capital market, which helps companies to use those funds to expand their businesses, right? Eventually, developing infrastructure in the country, right? Which helps the economy to grow. Then when we do proper financial planning, there are less chances of defaulting on your loans, right? When we have a proper inflow and we know where the funds is going, and accordingly we plan our loans. If we do have any loan, we have the proper outflow for it. We know how much money to allocate to any kind of expenses or any kind of outflow we plan to do. Right? This also, when we have a proper plan in line now, what happens is now we become really stress free, right? We know how the things have to go. We know the way how we have to go. So this becomes much stressless, and we don't have to depend on any other like government institution or specifically say on government, right? If we do not depend much on government and we become self-dependent, it gives the government also to use those funds to allocate in further development of the country, right? Then uh, if we default less on our loans, then definitely the banks will use those funds to help other business people to grow their businesses, and which eventually helps economies to grow. Yeah, Anjum ma'am's besides stuff like this.
Oh, she's locked out. She will come back
She
again.
lost
She
the
will come back.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
she lost the
So,
connection.
what you can say, yeah, while waiting for her, she'll come in anytime. So, what would you say about your type of business, like finance, investment,
It's
insurance,
it's a
or
very it's the need of an
cooperative,
hour.
right?
It's the need of an hour. I suggest a lot more young people to get into this business because there's a huge market. It's a huge market, and people have very less literacy regarding financial management. Right?
Yes, yes.
People do
India
know
is
that
very
there are
big.
many types of financial products in the market, but which one is right for them? They don't have the
Yeah.
idea about it. Maybe they think they do know, but eventually,
No,
when the
many.
things go wrong, they do need to come back.
Yeah, I think they should also educate. Can say in college
It is very
students,
necessary for people to
to
know
learn
about
about
how
insurance.
things
Dr.
work in
Anju,
financial world.
yeah, yeah, Dr. Anjum, what do you think? Students should be taught about investment and financial planning from school itself, right? It's not only
Yes, yes,
for
of course.
accounting students. Yeah,
Yeah, and because nowadays, students are being encouraged for startups.
yeah.
Right,
Yes,
So
when
they,
they are, and especially when they are in higher education institution, they are being encouraged for startups, for innovations. And here, then of course, when you go for a startup, so somewhere there's finances and planning for that, marketing and all that comes in. So we have even startup, even in colleges, we are in such sessions. And Pranav
yeah.
was there
So
on one
yeah.
of the
So
sessions. He was there.
yes, yeah, Mr. Pranav. Yeah, do you think like just now you mentioning that many of them are not aware, actually not aware of financial planning, how important it
Yeah.
is, why they
right.
have to do and all that, right? So maybe because we don't start from school. So once they finish their
Correct.
school, everybody go after
Very true.
whatever they want. And they fail to
Right.
see
Right.
this is the foundation. Financial planning is the foundation of everything. Yes, whether
Correct.
you're the employee
Yes.
or you're going to into business, especially startups. If you go into business, partnership, all these, you need strong financial background. At least the foundation
Yes.
part
Very
you have
true.
to build it. So I think
Very true.
even in Malaysia, I think they are talked about investment, accounting, but not that in depth. So I think must create more awareness for students in college and even in high
Right.
school. so that the students will start earlier. Like you see, like in Malaysia, right after the high school examination, they have 3 months break, 3 months. So what these students can do, if they have the education, the awareness in school itself, they can go out and do part-time on their own, or even go
Okay.
full time into that. They can start right after high school. Then, after their results
Yeah.
is out, then they can choose whatever no, studies they want to do, and still they can maintain this at their part time. I think if we have
Right.
done this, so I know, so I think our young people will be in a better position, financially. So I think India, there's a lot of prospects. Yeah, one is
In fact, in
population.
India, yeah, in fact, in India, government has now introduced certain financial topics in the schools as well.
Yeah,
Like
very good. Very
if you go
like what
from the eight,
subjects?
nine, 10 standard,
Like what
there's
subject?
a topic, there's a subject on financial literacy, which
Ah,
teaches you how money works, how it originated, what's the concept of money, what is taxation. So
awesome.
basically, we have a goods and service taxes here. There's also a
Yeah,
topic on that as well.
great, great, great. This is wonderful. Good to hear this. So
Yeah, it is
that's
very
why
much needed. As we
I
say,
don't see, yeah, I don't see why India is not coming up as a third world power if everybody take up the challenge. Yeah, so we just
yes, yes,
love
it
to
will,
see that.
India will
Yeah,
definitely
yeah. Can.
rise above.
Okay, Dr. Anjum, your questions, please.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, sure. Yeah, and I would just like to continue with my question. Like a few days ago, you must have seen that there were news about tariffs. So much of
Yes,
we could say President of USA Donald Trump talking about tariffs and different tariffs for different countries. So
correct.
that is one more thing which I would like to discuss here. What will be the effect of this tariffs on economic growth?
So basically, not necessary that tariff is bad for any country, right? So as we say in India specifically, Mr. Modi has introduced the concept of Make in India, right? To boost our own economy, correct? To produce locally and sell locally, or maybe also export, right? The same thing Donald Trump wants to do. They want, there's a concept that they want to run is MAGA, Make America Great Again, right? To certain extent, from a perspective of a US citizen, it's not a bad thing not necessarily it is bad for the USA or in other countries, but it's actually good for local companies in the country, in USA. Although it may affect the products and services that are being imported from China or elsewhere from the country. So USA is a major importer from China, right? USA has major products that have been imported from China, and if the tariffs are imposed on China, like they have actually imposed on it, but they have reduced from 250 to it has been brought down to 30% because it's not possible to bear that much of the tariff on any kind of product. Just imagine the inflation that will happen. So what
yeah,
if
but
that does that what tariff does is sorry.
sorry, Mr. Pranav, but earlier the tariff imposed on China was 24%, right?
Earlier it was 24%, then it was slowly raised to 50, then to 100, then to 125, and then to 250, right? And then it has been brought down to 30 now.
This
Okay.
is war,
So
tariff war.
obviously it was just a gimmick, as we say, or may not say, but it does affects the economy. Things and products and services do get costlier due to tariffs, and then there all obviously will be less volumes that will be traded across countries, right? Because
Yes,
companies cannot bear the tariff immediately. They'll have to get used to it, and then it will get easier for them to get into in regular life, right? Then it also disrupts global supply chain if there's any immediate tariff raise, like though Mr. Trump has given a 90 days period for tariff to apply, but it's still, they have given certain time for them to prepare for the uh, disruptions that may have happened if immediately the tariffs have been applied. Right?
But this is
We
ridiculous,
never
right?
know.
It's too
Yeah, no,
high.
it's yeah. Actually, it depends. It depends from country to country. So we can't
Uh,
completely blame USA or Mr. Trump for doing it. It depends on what kind
we
of
can't
products
blame
they
that.
are and what kind of services.
He's the PM. That is his wish. Yeah, that is his wish. What he wants to do, what he want to impose. But again, like you say, like for example, now they're having little bit of like some clash in
Yeah, tussle we can say.
like you see like Apple, all the handphone are produced in India,
Yeah,
right? Produced, assembled in
Apple
India.
phones have been started producing in India a
Started,
few years back.
yes. So when they send back to US, if the tariff is high, then even Indians can afford to buy. And again, US
Yeah.
is going to buy on even more higher price, right?
Yes, it does raises the price of products.
But they have to compare uh, the the price in US as well as in India. So it's going to be costly for even Indians. If they're going to buy,
Yes.
it's going to produce in US and uh, exported
Then they are going to
to,
supply to India.
then Indians
Yeah.
we can't
So
afford already. Not only Indians,
right.
Asian
So
countries can't afford iPhone.
so any kind of product will get expensive, and obviously it will affect our own pocket, right? But it's just the point of perspective from which point we are looking at, right? If you're looking from the perspective of a businessman of an American citizen, it's good for them because they will getting more options to produce or manufacture things locally, right? And also the produce may be supplied locally as well as globally. But when the things are imported from other countries, the production opportunity that local companies do have, it has been transferred to another country, and eventually the money is going to other countries. So the that
No, I
disparity
mean,
will always be there.
yeah, Mr. Pranav, I may interrupt you. Sorry. Yeah, this is more like let me
Not
make
a,
it more conversation. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's like you see, the problem is the labor market in India. Okay, the characteristic of the laborers in India
yeah,
totally different than Western countries, or even for that fact, if you ask me, even in Australia. Last week I was talking to my friend from Australia. It's been living there 20 years. So I met him say, how is things there? He say, oh, please stay in Malaysia. Don't come here. He's a Malaysian actually, living there 20 years, and all. They bought properties and everything there. But he's telling me, oh, no, here, very boring. 8 o'clock is all closed. So, it's all
yeah.
closed. But now they are changing. That's what he was telling. Now they are changing. They are trying to open business after 8 and all that because foreigners are
Right,
many there and foreigners like to spend time after work. Like, especially Malaysian. You come
right.
to Malaysia 24 hours, there's food for you. Whatever food you want is
That's
a heaven for food. Okay, heaven for food,
true.
heaven for if you want to have some business talk after office hours, you will enjoy it in
Right.
Malaysia. So, like in Western countries, the labor market is also similar. It's costly
Yeah.
and they don't work long
Very
hours
costly.
like, yeah. So
True,
this is
true,
going to cost them, in fact. And then they're going to have labor problem, right?
true, true,
Labor
true.
shortage.
Very true.
Who wants to work in this? Practically, even if you see in Malaysia, almost every family has a graduate.
Right.
So how you could imagine in US, but
The cost will obviously be higher when they produce locally, a little higher, obviously. That's the reason why they are sourcing their things and services maybe in China or India. So we have a
yeah,
lot of BPOs or KPOs in India which provide services to the MNCs that are present in USA, right? We provide the backend services to them. Obviously the main reason is being that we have a little I am hoping that there's a little more of literacy in India compared to USA, and also the labor charges and labor rates are comparatively very cheaper in India, and also we are ready to work to an extent which the US labor would not be ready to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think India is a better market. Market when come to production and all is very very much cheaper, and we can produce more because people are willing to work long hours. Yeah, long
Right,
hours.
right.
That's one thing we got to see. But anyway, that
True.
is our big brother's problem. And again,
Well,
now the talk is going on between Tim Cook, Tim and Trump. So let's see what is the outcome later. So let's continue. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, really, it is a very, it is an interesting discussion. And in fact, the more you discuss, and especially me, being from an engineering background, I am feeling that I'm learning a lot today. And yes, as we were talking about we talked about economic growth, we talked about financial planning, we talked about how the tariffs are going to affect all of this. Now, this is really something amazing and something very interesting. And in fact, the more we discuss, the more we will learn from it, and our audience will also learn. And I can see the comments that are coming live for our session in the comment section. Yes, like now let's just turn for a little bit, for a few moments. Let's discuss it. Just link this financial planning to sustainability. So we know that when we are investing, when we are doing the financial planning, one thing that we expect again is some returns from it, and that is what sustainable
right.
finance talks about. That you invest, you get your returns, and at the same time, it helps in sustainable development. It helps in growth for not only for you but also for everyone. So now, I would like to know about, like, is what actually is the sustainable finance?
So basically, whenever we invest anywhere, right, we expect some kind of returns, right? But when the investment goes through certain route that helps the economy to grow, that is where the sustainable management or sustainable finance or sustainable investing comes, right? So what sustainable investment or sustainable finance does is it actually focuses on environment, social, and governance factors. Right. Whenever we do financial planning or whenever do investing, if our main motive is to do a sustainable investing, then we always look for the type of investments which helps our country or which helps our economy, or not just country or economy, say global, right? If we want to grow together, then we have to have the factors like environmental growth, social responsibilities, and transparency of the governance that has been going on, right? If we invest somewhere that helps in production or manufacturing, which rather says that it does not affect environment much, like there are certain products which say green bonds, right? In green bonds, what we do is we invest in certain projects or certain manufacturing units producing which helps in making or taking steps that are useful for environmental growth, right? And also certain factories which work in like say maybe some CSR related, some social responsibility related companies which work in welfare of the companies, of the people, or help in improving lives of the people, right? If we invest in certain companies which also helps in producing affordable housing, affordable education, this takes the way which makes sustainable growth easier for us.
Of course, it will be easier for us. But when we talk about this, like even when you are in this profession, you must have experienced that when you go to the people, when you talk to the people, and then you start explaining them about any very small product or some new scheme is there. You must be encountering a lot of difficulties sometimes, because all the peoples don't have
Of
the same
course.
kind of data. Sometimes it is very difficult to convince them, though it is for their benefit, but
Okay.
still convincing them. But now we are talking on a broader scale. We are not just talking about financial planning, but we are talking about sustainable finance. And as you told, that was really
Right.
very interesting. But of course, like there are going to be a number of challenges when we talk about sustainable finance, when we talk about
A
the
lot.
at local level. So, what do you think will be some of the key challenges that we can face when we uh, think of achieving the sustainable finance or implementing sustainable finance for everyone?
So basically, the main thing that stops or that acts as a challenge for sustainable financial management is the lack of standardization. There's no particular standard or there's no definition of how a sustainable thing should be done. Like if we say ESG, environmental, social, and governance, if we consider that, there's no particular definition of how they should work or how sustainable things should work in any kind of thing, right? There's also a data gap. There's no proper data that is available anywhere. We don't have that deep data which makes us easier for us to take decisions, right? And looking at the current trend, if we see, people are very short term focused, right? People's goals are very short term. They want to get satisfied in every kind of thing in a shorter time span, right? Which is affecting the financial markets. People want their money. People want to earn hefty returns on a very short term duration of investments, right? And also there are not much incentives that are being provided to the companies or organizations that do work towards sustainable growth of the economy or sustainable financial management. So this may be some of the reasons which we may face in going forward toward this. And also from an investment perspective or from an investor's perspective, when the social governance and environmental things are being considered as of now, it takes a little longer time for us to generate returns, right? And hence it gets difficult for us to invest in those kind of categories.
Yeah, of course, challenges will be there. And as you said, one very important thing, that lack of data. And I think
Yeah,
this is somewhere the people from working in the finance sector like you should be using this, like analyzing the data. The data that is available is very less, but still data must be there somewhere. Like so, you can collect the data, you
yes,
should analyze the data. This
the
is going to
data we
help.
use to analyze companies and everything that is easily available,
Yeah,
but it is not enough for us to take decisions on sustainable investments, right?
yeah,
That is just a corporate point of view or from a money point of view that we look at. But there's also a certain different kind of perspective that we need to consider, right? Like economic data, geographical data, weather forecast, then what is the census, then what is the
yeah.
capability of people to work, how long they can work, right? There's a huge population, and hence it gets difficult for us to reach out to everyone. Right.
Yes.
We reached out to a certain people, and based on that, the decision is being taken, and hence it gets difficult for us to take decision based on that data.
Yes, that is actually that is happening, because if we talk about the global level, not only a person, but the kind of professions that we have already, like even we have countries, some developed countries, developing countries, the kind of businesses they are having, and like even you talked about geographical location, climatic conditions. So this are all very interrelated, and it really becomes complex. So of course, it is very
Of course.
complex. However, when challenges are there, the first thing is that we identify it, as you told about some of the challenge that.
Right.
And here, one more thing we can say, like of course, the mindset of the people. Like you talked about, they talk about very short term goals. They want more returns and a very short term. So this is somewhere we need to change, and fact or bring changes, because bringing changes is not that easy. We have to really put on
Right.
very hard work to change the mindset, because anything we discuss, everything starts with the mindset. Right. So that was really a very
True.
interesting discussion, and I hope Dr. Esther would like to add something to it. Yes, over to you, Dr. Esther, if you would like to add something to it.
I think I intruded just now. I got so excited with the tariff thing and I intruded just now. So I think it's really a wonderful session today we had, and a very fruitful conversation with Mr. Pranav. Mr. Pranav, is there like, okay, I, I'm not sure because you're a financial planner. So what do you think? Um, how is the market in India as far as you know, okay, in your industry? The segments, you have different segments, different group of people, right?
Right.
The youngsters, maybe below 20, maybe below
Right.
25, okay, above 25, say below 40, and above 40. So, how is the pattern of behavior towards investment and financial planning in India through your
Okay.
experience?
So young people are ready to take risks to a level that they can't even bear.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
People are losing money like anything. They are betting, they are doing bets on certain gaming websites, they are doing cryptos, they are trading in the markets, using derivatives to trade. For as I said, people are looking for short-term period for to make 50 kind of money,
Fast money,
which is
fast
taking
money,
them,
easy money.
yeah, they want to make fast money, which is making them lose money.
Yes.
Right. And if we grow up further little, people are ready to take a little risk, go through certain channeled way to grow their wealth. Like people are actually doing good in business and then they are planning very well at that age, right? And if we go a little higher to a senior citizen kind of age, they are very risk averse. They don't want to explore much of the thing. Right? They are satisfied with what they have and they are okay with what they are earning. They don't want much of the money. They are now satisfied with. They have done a lot. They have faced a lot. They have seen a lot of
Yes,
things
see
in the
the
market.
yeah. So
Yeah.
do you think that those above like around 30, 30 and above, 30 and below 40, this is the group which is really looking into investment, financial planning and all that? Yeah, above 30, yeah, above 30.
Yes, yes, yes.
How much?
People
Yeah.
are well. Actually, there's been a good thing that's been happening since few years, since COVID, we may say. People have actually grown very interesting in taking very much interest in markets, right? And which is why they are trying things which do not work in their favor, and eventually they come back to certain channeled ways which actually create wealth in a long term.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with what you say, Mr. Pranab. Again, you see, there's two type of group which is interested in
Yes,
investment. Okay, one is
correct.
the younger ones, the Gen Z and all that. These are the young people. If you compare to our time, our parents' time, they are not so
Right.
keen. They're just keen about right after school or college or university. They are just keen to get a job and start working and start saving. And right after they get
Right.
into university, complete their university, first thing the Indians will think of. Anyway, Indians are always Indians. Let it be in India or in Malaysia, they will think of settling down. The family will start make noise. So even you are a male or
Right.
female, you have to get married right after your university. Once you get a job, you have to get
Right.
married. That's the next thing. But again, like nowadays, everywhere, let it be in India or even in Malaysia, the younger generation, right after their high school or even right after their varsities, complete after they graduate, first thing they think of is how can I make money? Some even don't wait until they complete. Even they are studying, they are
Very
student, they
true.
already think about how to make money, easy money, fast money. So,
Very, very true.
but most of them, we can say majority are successful initially. The young
Right.
ones, I'm focusing on the young ones. Yeah, they're
Correct.
successful
Correct.
initially they do very well and all that because they lack of experience in business, because investment is also business. Yeah, their lack of
Yeah.
uh, you know doing business, lack of exposure, lack of um, uh, information a lot
Knowledge.
about what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, they rush into it because their friends say that business is good. They see others doing and they start to do without knowing what is business. Some of them not even,
Right.
they don't even have background, education background at all. Some
Correct.
business,
Correct.
most business don't really require. Like me, when I came into my what I'm doing for many years, is something which I don't know. I never studied. I learned about marketing after I'm into business. I start
Right.
business and I learn business in business. Then I start to learn about business because certain areas, because I got opportunity, so I just grabbed it. I didn't want to waste my time. If I used to say I got opportunity, I have to go and study about it.
Definitely.
By the time I graduate, I come, the opportunity will not wait for me, and somebody would have taken over, right? So when the opportunity come, just take it. That what I did, and
True.
same. So the youngsters nowadays, what they think is that everybody want to be entrepreneur, startup. That is good. It's good to have startups.
It's
The more
actually good.
startups, yeah, it's good. I think even India, our PM Modi is. I hope my Prime Minister don't hear I'm saying our Modi. Is for me, both country is important. Malaysia is my country, the country which I'm born. I'm national, my nation, but India is also related to me because that's where I come
You have
from.
roots here in India.
Come from, yeah. So you see, people nowadays, the youngsters, they step into startups, entrepreneurship, business without knowing what it's all about. You must have certain basics, like they say in colleges, like we introduce financial, learning about financial literacy. We learn about investment, all this. Yeah. So at the same
Right.
time, when we have these subjects, the children will be exposed. They will start to think about it, learn about it, and how the subject being taught is another matter. Giving them
Right.
awareness, teach them what is financial literacy is one thing. Putting them into the real life experience, give them the
Yeah.
experience of being an entrepreneur is another thing. So many, like in Malaysia, they don't emphasize much in school yet. Okay, so everything is just at surface level. So these youngsters will, right after school or university, they want to become an entrepreneur. Then they invest money, they take money. Oh, like back maybe 10, 15 years ago, people think many times in order to have a credit card. But now everybody has credit card, even the young
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
So when they have credit card,
Yes.
you see, most of them, they can't pay after some time. You know why? Because they don't know how to manage their finance, right?
They spend what they don't own.
Yeah, they splurge and they spend money on wrong things. So
Yes.
they don't use their credit card prudentially. You see, this is also
Right.
another cause
Even
of why they suffer.
even
So
this thing is rising in India as well.
yeah, it happens everywhere. So because you see,
Yes, and
that
America, in US, if you see, it has already been happening since a lot many years.
many
That's why
years.
US is in such a big deal.
That's why their UK and US, their unemployment rate is very high, and their debts,
Yes,
each
very
of
high,
them, if you go and see how much of debt they have, you know
very high
is
debt they have.
really scary. It's really scary.
These
So this trend,
easy credit things are ruining things. In certain cases, they are actually helpful, but when the credit is not used for a proper purpose, it does create a heavy burden from the person.
yeah, that's why in school, when they introduce the financial literacy, they should also teach them how to take control of the finance, how manage the finance well.
Correct,
You see, like,
correct, correct.
yeah, like you see, they like, for example, like me, I used to use my credit card only for my studies, not anything,
Okay,
not for petrol. you know Petrol is more to
right.
debit card. I
Okay.
have different debit cards to just go and pay fast and
Right.
drive off. You see, but credit card, I made it discipline is only for my studies. So in that case, you only use for that. You can control your expenses, right? Like
Right.
ladies, you needless to say, this credit card really boosts their 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 interest to shop. Ladies, the
Yes,
most
it
dangerous
has.
thing you can give them is credit card. No, most of them,
True. True. True.
ladies, they practically like everything they see, especially like the young ones, like a family ladies are not so bad, you know, they are not so bad. They know how to control, but those young people, they don't know how to control. Then again, go to
Right.
another level. Oh, it's going to be 10:30. Okay, so there's also another class where that's above 30. Above 30, they are more matured. They have
Right.
gone
Very.
through certain situations in life that they can think maturely, and that's where what they learn, like financial this thing will be will be useful for them, right? They will know how to manage it well. Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
What do you
They
think? What
have
do you
certain
say?
experience of life. They have
What
made
is?
money. They have lost money.
Yeah, yeah. But again, they might have lost lose money. You see, but again, at that age, they would have some background about what is startup, what is
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
what is
Correct. Correct.
finance.
Correct.
Yeah, so they will know how to manage it well, right? Otherwise,
Correct.
it's going to be tough. So
Yes.
again, we must know how to use. Now we have all the facilities, right? Easy to pay,
Yes.
GPay and all that. This
Right.
encouraging people, the bank people in the bank, they are not stupid. Banks are
Correct.
smart. They know how to make you spend money. So it's we, what do you think?
Hmm.
It's we who must take control of our actions, right?
Right. Right. Right.
What do
Very
you
true.
say as
Very true.
a financial planner? What do you say about credit cards, GPs, and all that? I'm not telling it's bad, but
See, it depends
is
on how you use it. Right.
ah
Credit card shall be used in a certain ways that it should not get default. Right. You should use the credit card when you have that amount of money in your bank account or in your debit account.
so
Right.
sorry, Dr. Anju. She's here. I forgot to add it to the stage. Sorry, I thought she left. Okay. I thought she's having another event or what. She left. I thought, oh God. Okay, please
No,
carry on. Carry on. It's
coverage
very
issues.
interesting.
It's
Maybe it
raining
was
here.
Yeah, yeah.
a network issue might
It's
have
okay.
been
It's
there.
okay. It's okay. Once in a while it happens. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Pranab, please continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Not an issue.
I know
So
today's
credit
session is
cards,
going
if
to be
used
interesting.
well,
I know,
so
anticipated.
credit
Yeah.
cards, if used very well with knowing all the terms and conditions, then it can be a really beneficial thing for us, right? If
Yes.
if you use the credit card when you have certain amount in your debit card to pay off that amount, then it can really get you good deals, right? Credit cards do offer certain deals, certain discounts, and certain points that you may use in future for paying certain things, right? If you use it very well, then it's good. But if you don't use it that well, it may attract a higher interest rate. If
Yes.
outstanding, you may have to pay 3%, 4% per month for the amount that has been outstanding since the bill has been raised, right?
Yes.
And that keeps compounding,
Mm.
right? And the GPay and the UPI segment that has been introduced since last few years, it actually is working very well, right? But the thing is, we have certain emotional connect when we pay through cash, right? We hesitate while paying through cash. That's why if you pay through cash, you spend a little less. But when you're
Yes.
going through certain digital ways to do the payment, it's not actually going from your hand, right? So the emotional restriction, the emotional barrier that we had to not spend too much, that is lost there. Hence, the spending has been increasing since UPI has been introduced.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, like you master your studies, you got to master your spending. Like for me, whether
True.
I have money, like in my wallet, I always control certain amount of money. I don't keep a lot of
Correct.
money there, because that is to
Correct.
control myself, you know
True.
in spending
Right.
again. So I'm so used to it. Even I have money in my card, I don't use it. I find that I'm not so interested to spend much. Careful.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes you are very
Very
comfortable,
rare.
but you are so used to managing, because it needs maturity. You see, maturity and good
Correct.
self control. Let's ask our Dr. Anjum, because she's a mother. So Dr. Anjum, what do you think? Financial literacy should only uh, be done in school, or also from home, like mothers,
Yeah, of course,
mothers
it
or
starts from
fathers.
home.
Yeah, start
Because
from home,
Starts
right?
from home. True.
the kind of decisions we have to take, like if you want to just spend over something, you have to buy us anything and that your child must be buying. So the kind of decisions he makes when buying, it somewhere depends on his parent, because they see how their parents are spending, on what they are spending, how much they are spending. So this again starts, and of course, when a child says that, yes, I need this thing, I want this thing, I want a phone, I want a bike, I want a laptop. So when a child says that, so it depends on the parents, like how strong they are financially, and then like whether we should buy it or not. There are many such conditions, many restrictions sometimes. So how a person starts spending money, it also depends on the kind of environment they have it. It really
Yeah,
depends on that. And like you were
yeah.
talking, I could see in your discussion, and we were talking about the financial literacy in the schools. So in colleges, let me tell you, if you are from a commerce background or from a management background, they have to study only about it. They have to study on it. But when you come to colleges like engineering colleges, we
Uh,
have subjects on financial planning. We have subjects on economics and engineering economics. But I must tell you, the students simply want to run away from that. They don't want to.
why?
Yeah, they
What?
simply run away. They just want to escape these classes.
Oh,
But
what do
after
they do to
studying, they
economic
realize that it
engineering?
is so important. But as a
Yeah, yeah.
student,
May
they
I
want to
know?
run away from it.
Yeah, Dr. Anju, may I know what do they teach under economic engineering?
Yeah, that is again economics, but especially related to like when you are in an industry, when you complete
Hmm.
engineering, and when you enter the industry as a professional. So at that time, like what are the different aspects of economics and what all you have to do, it is related to that. But the students are like, they somehow study and
Why?
clear, just write the exams and finish it. They don't want to
I
attend the class.
understand. I perfectly
They just want
understand.
to
You know
clear
why?
the exam
When I was student, I didn't really like economics. I'm not a mugging person. Although I did my law, and I did my economics, I don't really like beginning. I didn't do at the same time. I did law very much later than I did my economics. So when I did my economics, is one of the subject I don't really like it. I like my statistics because it's all numbers. I'm a more to number person, I love maths. So when come to economics, I also do the same thing, try to run away, but no choice. You still have to sit for exams and all. So you don't like mugging too much, doing that graph, this graph, memorizing a lot of things. So I think the engineering students find they are more hands-on people, hands-on mechanical
right.
type of brain. So they don't like economics that much, you see. But they will realize sooner or later. So since you have the
Yeah.
startup subjects, I think can incorporate this and what engineering into that subject, into startup subject, so that they have some interest. If you want to do startup, you got to do all this. Otherwise, they will not be able to appreciate, why they need to study that. See, like me, I
Right.
appreciate very much after that. As I told you, when I came to business, I start business. Then I understand that I did my law, I did my that subject of marketing. I studied on my own also. You see, so it's all maturity. Yeah, when you are student, you are very pampered. Everything is being paid for you. So you don't see why it's important. You don't want to think why it can be important, right? Not like after
True.
when you come out, you are independent, where your parents are not feeding you anymore with pocket money. That's where you start to think, right? So anyway,
Correct.
it's so
Yeah.
interesting. I do agree, like what Dr. Anjun said. Mr. Pranav, can I know, are you father of child or anything? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So okay. So the right thing that I guessed it. So I just asked Dr. Anjum. It's very true. Like if you ask me how we bring up the children from young, you see, what are the good things, the
Very
little
necessary.
things the parents talk to the children while having dinner or lunch or free time is very important. So, Mr. Pranav, is some tips for you in future when you become a father. These are the things you cannot make them sit down in front of you. Okay, listen, I'm going to teach you something. You better follow this. They will never listen. This generation
Yeah.
onwards, no way. So as we have to have a friendly talk while having dinner, time when you are out, or maybe in the garden in the evening, just sit and talk, and we just say, okay, why, bring up a topic which you can ask your children to communicate with you. That's where you see, like I can remember my childhood. What I'm sharing my childhood is story is that because many audience they don't know how, because parents are working, you know and they have very little time to spend together. So let me tell you, both my parents, after some time, they start to work, and only one day my dad will be at home, and my
Right.
mom makes sure that she's at home. So this is the day we sit in circle, you know, sit in circle with family. We talk a lot of things. We play games, you know. You see,
Right.
this average family is not a rich family or graduate parents. My parents both are not graduates, but this is how we keep our bonding and we create awareness. That's the time, you know. My mother will
Correct.
share, but my mom always say, even $10, 10 ringgit you want to spend, even 1 ringgit you want to spend. Think first whether is it useful for you. Is it?
Correct.
So start telling, okay, what do you think? So what do you think about this? What you will do? This is how the my parents ask us questions, and we all will compete to answer the best. We want our parents to say, oh, you are the best, you got the best answer. This is how we should create awareness at home. So until today, if
Right.
I have to spend 1 ringgit to buy something, even say if I want to buy a t-shirt, if I'm not going to use it, if it's just like another t-shirt, I will never buy. I will never buy. I'd rather keep that money for something else. You see, this is the awareness we create
That's
from home.
having that control is really difficult though.
Pardon?
Having that control on yourself of not spending money on your clothes is really difficult.
It's difficult, but yeah, but I do spend. I did spend a lot because of my business. I have to dress for work. In Malaysia, it's very different.
Right.
You cannot put on one kurta or something, a churidar and go. Cannot, because here is a multiracial country. If you ask
Right.
me, I have modern office wear as well as I have Malay clothing, because we go to Malay department,
Okay.
government department, you got to dress like them. You know, if I'm a
Right.
Muslim, I have to wear the scarf. You see, if you are not
Right.
Muslim, then you have to wear something like long and all that. So we have to dress like that. And again, when you go and see your clients who are non-Muslims, yeah, especially even Indians also here different. When come to work and all, you have to be dressed in office wear. You have to put on your
Right.
coat. You have to wear, yeah, you got to be like that. I know you won't believe how much money I used to spend on myself before pandemic. Yeah, even my pedicure, manicure, my hair, everything got to be nice, because you are in business. You are meeting clients. It's your presentation, your personalities is what it counts, first impression. And of course your work, you know yeah. But if you look good, you impress people with your good look, your personality.
Very true.
You have won half the
Very true.
battle. You have won half the battle. Let
Right.
it be male or female. Then next comes your
Correct.
work. If your work is not
Yeah.
there, no results, you won't get next business. That's another thing. So
True, true.
you
Very
see,
true.
I used
Very
to
true.
spend, but for what purpose? So now you be every one of say the young ones are going out to work, or they're going to start their own business. They have to allocate some money for themselves to dress
True.
for
Very true.
clients. Like in business, you have to
That's
spend
what I
money for
said
clients.
last time when I had a session at Anju Ma'am's college.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Uh-huh.
need to
It's
look
really
good. You need to have a good physique. You need to look good so that people don't forget your face once they have a look at it.
yeah.
It gets easier for next time to get it done, get things done.
Yes, yes. Again, it's very important. First, the personality. Personality. I think even you are working for in an office, your personality is very important. So
Very.
just like how much we give importance to the financial literacy, the same thing we also have to groom our students before they go out to work, because
Correct.
nowadays a lot of them don't know how to dress to work. Either they go in jeans and shabby t-shirts. Gen Z
Yeah.
is the most difficult to handle, you know but they're also good ones, but very few. But people learn from majority, they don't learn from the minorities. But most of the time majorities can be wrong, you see.
Of
So
course.
all
Of
this is
course.
very important. Yes.
Very true.
Yeah. So our financial planning is not only on what we need to spend on work. We also have to plan on our needs for ourselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm.
We do have to consider every aspect of our life.
Yes. Great. Great. So the Mr. Pranav, I think we have already drilled you to the maximum today with many questions. Okay. So what you would like to
Yeah.
say before we close the session? The pass to Dr. Ajim after this.
It was really great to be a part of this session, and certain points that came to my head after the questions that Anju ma'am has asked. Even I didn't thought that this could be possibly a way to get through things. Right? Certain things even I did never
Which
gave
one?
a thought to this, like the
Uh-huh.
sustainable management. Right? We
Yes.
never think of suggesting people to go through green bonds or certain this theme related investment, right? But if there's any kind of product which helps our country or economy or globally or society to grow, we can actually put some efforts for our from our clients to invest this some of their money to that route so that it can benefit everyone otherwise.
Yes. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and for your sharing.
Thank you for
It was
inviting
very
me.
insightful, interesting, really brilliant. So I pass the session to Dr. Anjum to do the closing. Dr. Anjum, you want to say anything before we close?
Yeah, thank you. It was very insightful. In fact, the discussion that we had, it was really great. And in fact, the people who are watching us now and the people who are watching us later, they're going to learn a lot. And in fact, besides it was very commonly, because this is something we think that financial planning means it is limited to some financial planners and the others working on it. Because, but it is a topic which every one of us should know, and that was really interesting, Pranav. And the kind of knowledge sharing you had on this session, that was remarkable. And thank you for accepting our invitation. And thanks for your insightful sharing. Good session that we had. Thank you for this, and we hope to have more sessions with you in the future. And because I must say that due to time constraints, the discussion that we had, there was limited. There was a lot more to discuss, but still we have to wind up here. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you
really,
for
thank you
inviting
so
me.
much. Yeah, Mr. Pranav, you are most welcome. We are looking forward to have you again. We also have professional masterclass. If you have any good topics you want to share, because that will be all for yourself. There will not be a question for you, but you can prepare your own slides, and maybe there's certain areas you want
Sure.
to share. You can always suggest your topic to Dr. Anjum or to me. directly up to
Definitely,
you.
definitely.
And it is a 45 minutes to 1 hour session.
Sure,
So you can prepare your
sure,
own slides, and you
sure.
can just, from beginning to the end, it's
I'll,
all
I'll, I'll
yours.
definitely run through Anju, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah, thank you
Sure.
so much. Dear audience, thank you for your kind attention, and I'm very sure you have enjoyed today. I think this is a very important topic for every one of us to know. To create, I believe that every one of you have taken some tips with you, and it will definitely bless your life in a way. Thank you so much, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to everyone.